Hi, everybody. It's Monday, November 30th, 2020, and I'm experimenting with trying to look a little bit younger. I don't need to look as old as I am. I'm 84, but I want to look like I'm 34. I hope this gets me somewhere between 84 and 34. It's 3:31 p.m. Central Standard Time, and Cookie is due home from work soon. And yesterday, uh, I recorded her entrance without the sound on. So my usual microphone failure stays with me. So I'm going to pause the camera now and wait for Cookie to arrive. Who's coming? Who's there? Who's that? Yeah. Yes, they've been out already. Ladies and gentlemen, guess who just got home? The queen of the house. Come over here, Cookie. Come over here and say hi to everybody.
Hi everybody, my name is Cookie from the work. I'm very thirsty. I want to drink tea and or coffee because cold time, My honey here, I cannot holding her hands because my honey is who knows? Yeah, we have a coronavirus. So,
I have no virus. I have no virus.
yes, I know. So I just giving money my honey for sit down sometime.
Oh, well,
And
Cookie's
relax.
going to give me money.
Because
Ooh.
I don't like my honey to pulling around.
Honey doesn't fool around.
Because they have a lot of virus. Okay,
Yeah.
so now, bye everybody. I'm going to change my clothes and I want to drink tea and relax. Goodbye. Okay?
There you go. Isn't it nice? She's home. And now I'll cook her a nice big dinner and relax with her and leave her alone to rest. So, see ya on the next video. Bye bye, everybody. Hi, everybody. Today is Wednesday, December 2nd, 2020, and I have before you a 1942 Mack transit coach. I can't remember the model number. I intended to look it up, and I'll post it at the end of this video clip. Anyway, this is a 572 gas engine, and I'm going to attempt it. The temperature right now is 32 degrees in Bloomington, Minnesota, and you can probably hear behind me the Minneapolis, Northfield, and Southern. So anyway, there's a safety switch here, front, rear, and I'm going to put that on the rear start position. I should have a charged battery. This is the electric choke. Remember, starting a gasoline engine in cold weather requires a choke. You have to change the air-fuel mixture, less air, more fuel for a cold gas engine to start. So up front is a button that operates this electric solenoid to pull the choke either on or off. In the old cars, remember, you had a lever you could pull out. You could gradually operate the choke. Today, it's either on or off. So I'm going to see if this cold engine will start today. Oh, I know, I forgot to turn the ignition switch on. YouTubers know how it is when you're trying to do a recording. You always forget something, so here we go. Got it. Takes 3 hands to operate the throttle, the choke, and the starter. So let's see how it goes. Well, that was close. I'm going to keep trying here. How do you like that? We're on the way. We're getting it. Whew! Here we go again. Before this was running a bit rich, it still is. There's probably a lot of adjustments that need to be made, but anyway, I love the sound of these big straight 6 cast engines. Doesn't this have a nice sound to it? This is a 3-speed stick shift. It's a clutchless system. This hydraulic pump here, when the engine revs up, it engages a clutch. It's a spring-loaded clutch in here that is normally disengaged. When the engine revs up, this hydraulic pump puts pressure into a cylinder that engages the clutch against the flywheel. So you shift the gearbox into gear, and when you step on the gas, it engages the clutch and the bus moves. You let up on the gas, the clutch disengages, you shift the transmission to the second gear, and when you step on the gas, it re-engages the clutch. And the same with third gear, the same with reverse gear. It was the beginning of automatic transmissions for Mack. General Motors, remember, had automatic transmissions in their city buses in 1939. The last of the yellow coaches and the first of the GM coaches in 1939 had that transmission, which I've explained on other videos. So, the next thing to know is here's the ignition system, here's the coil. I don't know if you can see that resistor here. See this resistor? That resistor is in the circuit when the engine is running, as of right now. You will see a second wire to the coil. That second wire bypasses that resistor and puts a full voltage on that coil, which increases the intensity of the spark when you're cranking the engine. A hotter spark when you're cranking the engine to assist in starting. This is an updraft carburetor. Air is coming in from the air filter into the carburetor, mixing with gasoline, and the manifold vacuum is drawing gas up in through the cylinder. So that's how it works. I'm going to pull the switch here and stop the engine, and I'll show you a little bit about the inside of the bus. But first I have to click the camera off, so bear with me. I'm out here alone, you know how that goes. What I'll do is show you a little more about the business end of the bus. I did show you the ignition system. The sunlight, of course, is adjusting the camera. You saw how I did that? That's the resistor to the coil that I explained. Okay, and here is the carburetor. Air into the carburetor. And the manifolds, the intake manifold here. And below it, the exhaust manifold. Down here is the air compressor. This bus has air brakes and air doors and air wipers. Here's the engine oil filter. It's a big can with an element in it. Here's the gearbox arrangement. Here's the hydraulic clutch system. And this is the hydraulic pump for the hydraulics. The oil bath air cleaner. Back in here is the DC generator. All run off of belts. The DC generator has the big belt. The fan. Somebody stole one of the heaters out of the bus, so I had to disconnect the heating system. Unfortunately, I hate doing that, but that's what I had to do. Here's the water to the radiator, and here is how you adjust the engine operating temperature. You want to adjust this so there's a certain amount of resistance in this system in order to force water through the heaters. Okay, that should be enough here. Now we'll go inside the bus. I thought you might like to see this. The doors are closed. I never remember to place the door switch on the open position. So I start the engine from the rear, pump up the air, the doors close, and lock me out. So now I gotta go around to the side here. Let me show you the front of the bus first, if I can get back far enough. Here's the front of the bus. This was on the Rondo route in St. Paul. And if you ever want to tap into history, you can Google Rondo Avenue in St. Paul. It was the well-organized and very successful African-American community in St. Paul. That community was chosen for the route of Interstate 94. I guess there's some political aspect to that, which I'm not going to get into. But so what happened is they tore out all the homes in a 3-mile area of Rondo Avenue in St. Paul to build a freeway, and displaced everybody. The homes, the stores. So there's quite a story on that if you want to check it out. Here is the interior. Now, this being a World War II bus, the last of the production of domestic vehicles, this bus, by the way, here's one of the, that heater is okay, and there was one on the other side that got stolen, and the heater up front got stolen. So anyway, I need to go back and get my light now. So in order to complete production on these vehicles, all the metal possible had to be designed out of the vehicle. So these seats are plywood. These seat cushions are once dark green. The daylight has faded them out. But the seats are plywood, painted to look like metal. We had a couple of hundred of these buses in Minneapolis and St. Paul. In the mid-40s, I rode them on the 38th Street line in Minneapolis. The rear door with a convex mirror. This is a newer sign. I don't know who put this in here. I hadn't noticed this one before. This was a famous place in St. Paul. It's been converted into a condominium project now. So the building is there, thankfully. Well, anyway, so let's go back up to the front now, to the driver's area. You notice here's the hangars for the Johnson Model D fare box. And here's the driver's position. These buses get so dirty inside even though the doors and windows are closed. I've driven this bus on charters. It runs and drives. The gas pedal is also pneumatically air operated. The gas pedal is an air cylinder, much like the modern buses now. Notice, no clutch. And the Johnson bar parking brake. This is a fancy turn signal system somebody installed years ago. They came without turn signals. The driver stuck his hand out the window to signal when he was pulling away from the curb. The last time I used them, the windshield wipers worked and all the lights worked. Let's see if that's still true. HL bright, headlight bright. Let's go look at these big old-fashioned headlights that preceded sealed beams. Well, they're lit, but the camera doesn't show that. Isn't that weird? These lamps are lit, but the camera doesn't show it. And I guess that's because it's so light outside. But you can see they're lit. They have bulbs inside of them. This is not a sealed beam. This is just a glass lens with a metal cone and a light bulb in a socket around that reflector. Okay, so here we are, our 1942 Mack. So anyway, just a quick little look around this side of the bus. Water. These engines were good at overheating and pushing water out. They all did. They all ran hot. It was nice in the wintertime, though. These old Mack buses were nice and warm during the winter. They had Dayton wheels. Some of you are familiar with these Dayton wheels. I never liked them. These tabs always come loose. You gotta always check these nuts on these Dayton wheels because they work their way loose all the time. So I'm not crazy about Dayton wheels. Here's how I got it started. I'm getting too old to lift batteries anymore. So fortunately the cables were long enough. I was able to just set the battery on the ground. But here's some more of the Dayton wheels. Oh, by the way, this is something that you might want to know. You notice the term split rim? Well, there it is. There's the split rim. And what that meant was that you could slide the inner tube right over the rim really easy. And you notice they do split. See, this is cracked. This is a frequent problem with these rims. And that's why these Dayton wheels, I'm not into inaccurate restorations, but if you decide to get rid of these Dayton wheels, I don't think anybody would curse you for it. You see how these things shift. These nuts get loose and the thing shifts. See how they change off center? So anyway, there you go. So, well, I'll just start this up once more time so you can listen to it. These are just such beautiful sounding engines. Oops, turn the ignition on, stupid. is a 572-inch 6. Okay, that's it. Well, there you have it. Hope you enjoyed that little visit with the old Mack. I almost forgot about that. We just moved that over from the Minnesota Transportation Museum at the Jackson Street Roundhouse over to our yard in Bloomington. So I thought it might be a good idea while the weather is halfway decent here in the Twin Cities area to go ahead and try starting it for you and let you take a look at it. I need to repair the throttle control system before we can drive it again this spring, so I'll probably get to that as one of my first summer projects. Anyway, so hope you enjoyed the hi from Cookie and the tour of the old bus, and please comment. I enjoy your comments. I read all your comments. I appreciate the remarks, and ask questions if you like. I'll find an answer if I don't have one for you right away. So thanks. And by the way, I hope you all have a very happy holiday. Happy, successful, and healthy holiday. Be careful. Stay in. Remember, even if it's happened to you, you can still give it to somebody else. So please be careful. God bless you all. And thanks for being here with me.